Once upon a time, there was a forest older than time, nestled beyond maps and memory, where every tree whispered its own name, and stars bent low to kiss the leaves. 10-year-old Arya wasn't supposed to be there. Her parents were researchers who traveled city to city. She, a lonely shadow between their schedules. While visiting her grandmother in a sleepy village, Arya wandered deep into the wild green forest, guided only by the trail of glowing butterflies she swore were calling her name. And then she heard a faint whimper, half sob, half growl. Behind twisted vines, under soft moss, something alive was curled up in pain. With a sharp gasp, Arya knelt and saw it, a baby dragon, no bigger than a dog. Its vibrant scales were dulled by mud and tears. Smoke leaked from its nostrils, not in anger but agony. Its body trembled. One side of its jaw bulged unnaturally. "What happened to you, poor baby dragon?" Arya looked closer and saw a swollen, inflamed tooth, pulsing with pain. Their eyes met. Hers widened with wonder, his glowing green, glazed with fear. But somehow trust bloomed in that silent moment. Arya wrapped him in her shawl, her small arms cradling the scaled weight carefully. She didn't scream or run. She felt responsible, as if the universe had chosen her. The village doctor, an old man named Darren, lived in a cracked hut near the edge of the woods. When he saw the creature in Arya's arm, his pipe dropped and asked with shock, "A dragon?" Arya replied softly, "A baby dragon, and he is hurt. Can you help him, Uncle Darren?" Darren looked at the swollen jaw and shook his head and said to Arya, "You are lucky he didn't incinerate you." To which Arya replied, "He is not angry, he is in pain." Dr. Darren agreed to try. In secret, they cared for him, Arya at day and Darren at night. The dragon refused to eat until Arya began warming milk and mixing it with drops of honey. She named him Ember, because even in his pain he glowed. The doctor used old forest remedies, bark of the whispering tree, crushed sun roots, and dragon clove oil. At night, Arya would sing to Ember by candlelight. He would listen, curled beside the fire, steam rising from his nostrils like sighs. One night, Ember let out a tiny flame, not in pain but joy. The next day, he smiled for the first time. Arya and Ember became friends. They explored secret clearings, chased sunbeams, and flew just inches off the ground. Ember's wing grew stronger. He could now lift both himself and Arya for a few seconds. They watched stars and drew dragons in the sky. But their friendship one day changed into a goodbye. Her parents returned. She now has to move back to the city again and be with her parents. Arya was sad. She tried to explain to her parents, but how could she? Dragons were not real to them. Her mother dismissed it as another phase, and her father never listened. And the day of their separation arrived. Arya hugged Ember at their secret glade and said, "You have to stay hidden. I am sorry I have to leave you. I wish I could take you with me." Ember nuzzled her shoulders. His eyes, once filled with pain, now shimmered with sorrow. Arya whispered in his ear, "Promise me you won't forget me." And he roared a soft musical flame that floated like a heart into the clouds. Years passed. The forest was untouched, but Arya was not. The city consumed her. She grew up as people do. The magic faded into memory, then into dreams. Sometimes she would think about Ember, the baby dragon, but then she would think that Ember must be grown up now, and maybe have forgotten her as well. But Ember waited. He kept their meadows clear, their fire pits warm. Every night he looked to the stars. Every year his wings grew stronger and his flame brighter, but his heart heavier. Ember had promised Arya that he will never forget her, but the world had stolen her from him. Now Arya, all grown up, returned to her village to meet her old grandmother, not with joy, but exhaustion. Her life felt hollow. She laughed less, slept poorly, and cried without reason. She took a leave of absence from work. One day, she decided to hike alone into the forest. When she arrived, the trees remembered her. The butterflies returned, and in her heart, something long asleep stirred. The blurred memory of the baby dragon Ember. She decided to find Ember. She would wander every day into the forest, but she found no signs of Ember. One day, she decided to climb the cliff. It was a dangerous decision as the cliff was filled with dangerous rocks, slippery track, and no clear path. But somehow she reached the cliff, the highest point of the forest. She looked around to find any proof or even a glimpse of Ember. But there was none. Under grey skies, she stood at the edge and cried, thinking about Ember. "I broke my promise. I left you alone in this forest. I am sorry for leaving you behind." With the rumble of wind, a rock slipped beneath her boot. She screamed and fell from the cliff. Her arms were outstretched. While thinking about Amber, she closed her eyes with fear. From the clouds above, she heard a roar. A fire-streaked shadow tore through the sky. With huge wings, something dove and caught her mid-air. His body was majestic, armored with time, breath hot and alive. They both crashed into a meadow. She gasped for air, sobbing. When Arya opened her eyes, she saw a mighty golden dragon. But Amber was green. Then she remembered that Amber's color changed when he was sick. She asked with fear and shock on her face, "Amber, is that you?" The dragon nuzzled her face, coiling around her protectively. Arya touched the side of his jaw, the tooth different from others, but healthier, sharper, and brighter. She got excited and said, "Amber, it really is you." The tooth was healed, but a new pain flickered in his eyes, the pain of being forgotten. Arya hugged Amber and apologized to him for leaving him behind. They returned to their fire-lit meadows. She sang again, shaky, soft, and broken. Amber leaned in, pouring like thunder. They flew at day through clouds and rivers. Arya never returned to her job. She moved to the edge of the forest and began writing tales of dragons, friendships, and lost promises. No one believed her, but one night children swore that they saw a dragon fly across the stars, and in the trees a soft flame danced, like a heart reborn. "To the one who healed me," Amber whispered to the stars. "Even if she forgot, I never did."